When we talk about data, we tend to think of it as this clean digital thing. It lives on a dashboard, maybe in a spreadsheet.
Right.
But if you're actually managing a physical space like a server room or an industrial floor, the reality is a lot messier.
It is. Data is temperature, it's humidity, it's invisible most of the time.
And the second you look away from your monitor, you're basically flying blind.
That's what some people call the latency gap. The time between, say, a temperature spike physically happening and you refreshing your browser to actually see it.
Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive on a piece of hardware that's meant to close that gap.
Exactly. We're looking at the NTI E-PLSD. It's all about making that data physical again.
EPLSD is a bit of a mouthful.
It is.
So let's just call it what it is, a programmable LED sensor display. But from what I'm reading, this isn't just some generic monitor you can slap on a wall, is it?
No, not at all. It seems specifically tethered to the NTI Environius ecosystem.
For their E2D, 5D, and 16D models.
Correct. You should think of it as a remote status board. The sources all emphasize that its whole mission is glanceability.
Glanceability.
Yeah, it takes all those complex sensor readings buried in your server and puts them right there on a 7.5 by 3-inch LED window.
I saw that, and the design uses those big 14-segment characters. It looks almost retro, like an old-school alarm clock.
Yeah.
Why not just use a modern high-res LCD screen?
It comes down to reliability and contrast. Those big, blocky LEDs just cut through the visual noise of a dark server room or a really bright factory floor.
That makes sense.
But the real insight here isn't even the numbers themselves. It's the traffic light logic.
So the whole display physically changes color.
That's the key. It changes color based on the sensor's status, so you bypass the need to actually read the data.
Right. If it's green, you just ignore it and walk on by.
Exactly. If it's yellow, maybe check it when you have a second. But if that whole thing is glowing red,
you have a critical alarm before you've even fully stepped through the door.
it reduces your cognitive load so much.
Yeah.
And that's huge for reaction time.
Okay, so let's get into what it actually displays. It's pretty structured, right? You've got 5 characters for the sensor value.
14 characters for the name or the location.
And then 3 for the unit of measurement, like Fahrenheit or Celsius.
Which brings us to configuration. You might think programming a board like this would be a headache, maybe require some coding.
I was kind of assuming that, yeah.
But it's all managed right through the EnviroMux web interface. It's all drag and drop. You just pick the sensors you want to see and in what order.
The documentation also mentioned a nickname feature. Is that just for looks, or is there a functional reason for that?
Oh, it's very functional. The screen has that hard 14-character limit for the name.
Right.
So a standard sensor ID like, ETRHM 79405 is just going to look like gibberish up there.
And it won't fit.
Exactly. So you can nickname it something clear, like Server OA, and it fits perfectly.
And what if you don't use a nickname?
Then the device automatically scrolls the full text. The default speed is about 300 milliseconds per character.
Trying to read scrolling text on a wall while you're walking past sounds pretty annoying.
It can be. And that's why that nickname feature is so important for the whole at-a-glance idea. You want static, instant information, not a ticker tape.
Okay, but what if you're standing there troubleshooting?
There are physical buttons on the unit for that. There's a sensor button. You can hit that, and it'll pause the auto scan for about 30 seconds to let you focus on one reading.
And I see buttons for brightness and also mode, which I assume is for switching between Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Correct. It gives you that immediate, on-the-spot control without needing to log back into the web interface for a simple change.
Let's talk installation for a second. It uses RS-485 communication, so you connect it with the standard CT5 or Cat6 cable. How far away can you put this thing?
Up to 1,000 feet away from the main EnviroMux unit.
That's a pretty good distance.
It is. But here's the really smart piece of engineering I found in the specs. The display itself acts as a hub.
What do you mean?
It has its own dedicated RJ45 port specifically for connecting an ETRHM7 temperature and humidity sensor.
Wait, so you can plug a sensor directly into the display?
Yes, and you can then extend that sensor another 500 feet from the display. It creates this daisy chain effect that must save a lot of cabling headache.
That does add a ton of flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so price point, we're looking at around $735. It's wall mountable, powered by 24-volt DC.
Which puts it firmly in that professional infrastructure category. It's not a consumer gadget. It's built to be a permanent fixture.
So to sum this all up, it really seems like we're seeing a push away from just checking the app and back toward just looking at the wall.
Precisely. It reiterates the value of having a physical, color-coded alert system. I mean, software alerts are great, but they can be missed. They can be ignored.
Yeah.
A glowing red light in a server room that commands attention in a way a push notification just can't.
And that's really the thought I want you to leave with today. In real emergency, what's going to trigger your reaction faster? An email buried under 50 unread newsletters, or a bright red light staring you right in the face?